folks. We are Grown A Geeks, and tonight we're going to be talking about the season finale, the last 4 episodes of Gen V. We'll use this as a full season recap and focus on those last couple episodes. Joining me tonight, the usual cast of characters. We've got insert cool nickname Miss Brandy, Gen X Teresa, how to be TK, V for Vapid, RG Cashmere, and of course my man Jeffrey JPNT 17. I'm your host Elder Geek Sam, and save the last dance for polarity.
Hey man, don't put me next to RG.
Wow.
Don't put me next to him.
All right.
Let's go.
Move me.
All right. You get the square tonight. You get the square tonight. So speaking of the square, you know, it's the magic spot. Tonight, Jeff is going to be our host. He's going to be the one pointing to our QR code. You can click on that QR code. That'll let you follow us everywhere we are. Check out all the social media. Join our Discord, our Facebook group. Follow us on Instagram. And, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into Gen V. Last time we talked, we were doing a recap of the first 4 episodes, and we had a chance to see everything that was going on and all the goodness. We were seeing Marie Moreau become the new savior, and she was trying to learn about her powers. We were trying to figure out what the deal was with Cypher. Then episode 5 hit. Okay. What? There's so much to unpack with Cypher. Who wants to take it on first? All right, so
somebody who just didn't, you know, Jeff knew. Jeff got it. What was the whole 1 through 4? Like we still ain't get your thoughts on the first half of the season.
Oh, I like the show a lot. I think that Jazz Sinclair is an incredible actress. I think she's done a really good job in the role as Marie. I think the way that they handled and navigated Chance Perdomo's death and still keeping him just intertwined in the show. Like, you can kind of tell, like, they had to go back to the writer's room on a lot of what was happening. So I think just, like, the fact that they lost one of their main characters and was still able to honor his contribution to the show, but still, you know, create a story that was fairly cohesive, in my opinion. I think that was really, really good. I think I enjoyed I think the thing I enjoy the most about this show is because this is like the formation of a team. You're just seeing like kind of more of the one-on-one relationships between characters. Like, right. The thing that they're the worst at is like fighting together as a team, which is what you expect. You know, when you watch X-Men and when you watch an Avengers, you expecting to see like
they got team
we're
up
on the same page and yeah, we doing what we doing, but it's like y'all haven't practiced together yet, but y'all are creating, you know, some very strong interpersonal relationships between each of the members of the team, so that whether they like each other or not, or they're getting over it or whatever, there's an actual connection that all of them have with one another through the experience that they're having in the show. And I think a lot of times that's one of those things that some of the team up things get wrong, is there's always a character or two that just feel like, well, they just there, but we throw them a line or two every now and then, but we don't actually feel like an emotional connection between these characters and the rest of the team, because the team leaders are like sucking all the air out of the building. Like, I think Gen V's youthfulness leads to it kind of being like the reluctant leader thing, and so everybody's kind of taking a stab at leading in different aspects until you get to the end, and it's like, come on, we all know who the big dog is. Like, stop BS and tell us what to do, Marie, and we got you. So I think all in all, like, I will say, like, I personally, I enjoy Gen V a little more than the boys, because I think there's a little less like incel-y shock value baked into this show than the boys. But I am fascinated to see how these characters are going to show up in the next season of The Boys, the final season of The Boys. just because there was so much talk about Homelander and all that other stuff like that. Yeah, I think, you know, I'm enjoying you know, how this universe has twisted and tilted and given its own kind of commentary on, you know, all these Marvel and DC characters that we know and love. So yeah, that's it.
That's a good that's a good recap. And I'll share some of those sentiments. I did like throughout the season, everybody has had an opportunity to shine. And in the first season, they really kind of they were being very clear and drawing your attention to these people. Everybody else was just support. They were just supporting cast. They were secondary. And this season, it felt like everybody was a star. Everybody had a moment. Everybody had an opportunity to really have a standout moment. And even with them not having the, you know, preset move list where they've practiced as a team, these kids are going through it and they are just trying to survive. They are just trying to get to the next day. And, you know, I think that they show a lot of natural aptitude and some really creative ways to use their powers and abilities, which I would have thought would have been the purpose of Godolkin University, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you have powers, those powers can be used in some fashion. Now, granted, some of the powers, as we found out, may not be the kind of help you would think would save the day. And lo and behold, if somebody can't move because they get tied up, you know, maybe you can turn off a water valve or something from across the room. There's lots of different ways that the powers can be used. And I think the show has done a very good job in showing that, you know, everything isn't strong man punch hard. You know what I'm saying? That there are some creative and unique ways to put these powers on display. I would be curious if anybody has any season highlights, or especially from these last 5 episodes, because once we kind of found out, you know, we were seeing the gender bender versus the blood bender. We saw that battle, and she had Marie had Jordan suspended. So we saw Cypher like jump into Jordan and take control. What about that Cypher reveal? Like there's just so many different things that I just want to pop off. Brandy, I know you got your list of 10, your little list.
I didn't take notes because I was playing catch up like a really, but I do have like things that okay, so you know that I was like not about the season, but just in general. I wasn't looking, you know, jumping into it like super enthusiastically. The last episodes I thought were good. I thought they were good. I thought that they did a good job of telling the story. I thought I like the twist, the Godolkin twist. Sometimes I was irritated because I think it was 7. It might have been episode 6 or 7, where like they were with the at Stan, which you already know. You knew as soon as you saw him, I was tickled. But and they were in Marie, and I was like, okay, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to. It was like there was just a point where it was like, girl, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? But they pulled it back, and everybody started to get into formation. But it was just too many. I don't want to. I know that's your trope. I get it. But honestly, at this point, you could drop. It's time to go. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed Black Noir. He was a little unexpected little highlight for me. I didn't see it coming, and I just was like, okay, see you, sir. The selfie. I was like, that's cute. Like,
right.
I loved him. What was his name? Why can't I think of his damn name? Save the Last Dance. Ben Affleck. Hilarity. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
John Patrick Thomas. Yeah.
I really enjoyed him. Like, there was just, I think, a lot of moments where I was just like, okay, I see it for you. When she healed old girl, I was like, okay, because them first couple, I was like, this bitch, you know, like I want nothing to do with you. You know what you did, but I like how the sister, that was a shocker. I didn't see that. I didn't see the sister. I don't want to talk too much about and step on anybody's toes, but those were just some of my highlights. There was definitely,
No,
I am interested to see how it, and A Train showing up at the end with Annie. I'm like, okay, so we in there, like we doing that. Okay, all right, like let's see.
Therese, what were some of the parts of it? Because is this one of the shows that you like? Because I know you're not a big fan of The Boys.
Yeah, that was gonna be something that I said too. Is that I like Gen V way more than I like The Boys. Like I'm like 2 or 3 seasons behind on The Boys because it started to be foolishness for me. Yeah, and just real extra gory. Although Gen V has the same kind of stuff, but for some reason it's easier.
It feels
for me
lessened.
to stomach with Gen V. I don't know if it's because like Jeff
it doesn't feel as gratuitous.
Well, I don't know. Jeff and I like the younger characters, like those kind of school age characters and how they interact and how they like develop and mature and stuff. So I don't know if that is why I can take this show more than The Boys or what. But either way, I really like Gen V.
Yeah.
I do not like The Boys. I'm going to go back and, try to catch up now that it's crossing over with Gen V because, I want to know. Because, I was kind of lost when Starlight, or whatever her name is, Annie, showed up in Gen V because I have not watched so much of The Boys.
Right. But you haven't. Right. Season 2. Yeah. Wow.
I've kind of figured a little bit of it out, but I am gonna have to go back and watch The Boys.
Yeah, that would have made the Starlighters very confusing.
Yeah, I don't know this whole resistance thing. I really
Liberty, you wouldn't know.
Right, it's why are they necessary? Why are they here? Where are they coming from?
I almost want to say, just jump to this season and episode. I'll see if I can find a short version you can watch so you don't have to watch all of it. Get all the key points or something. See if we can put that together for you.
Because Homelander.
Yeah, because you're like, who is Victoria? Why was Stan and who is the daughter? You don't know who any of those people are.
Well,
thinking about it.
No, none of the boys people.
Well, Victoria would have been in season 1, so she would have known who Newman was.
Well, yeah, I guess so, yeah. But not like the T though.
Yeah, not the wouldn't have seen the conversation with her and Sage and all that sort of stuff. So so Sage would have been a whole
where
is Black Girl coming from?
Okay.
Let me know when it's time to talk about Sage.
You know what? I will make a note because we will.
But as far as favorite things or
standout moments.
Yeah, standout moments. I am glad that the sisters are repairing their relationship because I just hated that. What's her name? Annabelle, something like that. Annabeth. I hated that she held that against Marie like that. But I see now that part of the reason she's doing that is because she kind of blames herself because she had the power and she thinks she could have prevented it because she saw it before. So it wasn't really just her holding it against her. It was also her blaming herself. So, but I'm glad that they are coming back together. And I think it's partially because Annabeth reminds me of my sister. She kind of favors her.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was watching that and I was thinking to myself, man, I thought Marie was gonna be a hero. The way they was presenting Annabeth, I'm like, this is a villain origin story in the making. She's doing everything that Marie has been doing both seasons the whole time is to get to her sister, is to protect her sister, save her sister, to see her sister. And then you kidnap her sister, kill her sister. She turned into an Omega level. She turned into an Omega level Gen Veer in order to save her sister. And now the sister's like, it's your fault. I blame you. Get away from me. And I'm just like, this poor girl is about to break. And when she does, everybody finna go boom. Everybody about to pop around her. And I'm thinking that that's how we're gonna have her incorporated into. She gonna end up one of the 7 real quick. Her Homelander, the 2 Odessa babies gonna get together. And I was like, this is not good. So I'm with you. I'm very glad that they're trying to repair that relationship because I did not want to see Marie go out like that. I mean, it would have she would have been completely justified if she flipped out on everybody after the way her sister was talking reckless. And to be like, do you know what I did to save you? And this is how you. So I was very happy that didn't go that way. RG, I know you had a couple standout moments. What were some of the things that made highlight for you these last episodes?
So I will have an opportunity to explain my alias about the Vapid. Okay. But for the most part, if y'all seen what I said about the show in the first 4 episodes, even though I actually enjoy this show. I actually like this season. I think the show gets a lot of things right. The writing to me is very cohesive. The characters they're likable, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not relatable necessarily from a perspective of I can relate to them, but they make choices. I'm like, well, that's not really far-fetched. You know, even though a lot of times I do feel there are times in the show where I feel like, you're making this series of dumb decisions and then wondering why you're here. But I mean, that's kind of everything.
That's kids. Like,
right?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah. So
especially some 20-somethings.
Okay. So I like the fact that the level of stakes for them always seems to rises. And that they have to take it a bit seriously. It's like you're young, but you're still adults, and obviously people can die from this whole situation. But yet they're still trying to navigate it and manage to have some sort of college level experience, through all of this. And the show does a very good job at presenting that quite, realistically. At least from a perspective that I don't feel like it's hard for me to believe like this would happen if those situations, if those things were the state of the world. I think, my favorite character is, little shorty who gets small and large. You know what I'm saying?
Emma.
I forgot her name right now.
Emma.
There we go. Emma. That's my favorite character because I feel like she's the heart and the conscience of the team. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I do like the fact that she's the conscience of the team. Marie, I love Marie, but Marie makes a lot of dumbass mistakes, right? And the problem with Marie is I won't pop upside her head. Like, come on, man. Like, stop. You don't have to do that. You don't got to do that. But you know what I'm saying? But
she doesn't know. She spent her whole life by herself before coming to Godolkin. She was in the freak of nature. Like,
I ain't saying she got to be 100%. I'm just saying, come on, man. Just a little bit more common sense. I mean, a little bit more common sense.
When you went, if you went to college, if people who went to college,
I went to college as an adult, so
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was gonna say. People who went to college like straight after high school or whatever, the kids who was homeschooled was different. That was different.
Yeah.
That part I know about them.
Yeah.
I know about that.
But I'm saying Marie was homeschooled. So it's like you treating her like she's had like all the social like steps that other people have had when she hasn't. She literally was like, at 18, you're leaving to be able to go out in the world on your own for the first time. Like she has no clue how to carry herself socially in the world. So
I don't have an issue with her social. I don't have an issue with how she's represented socially and her I love her dynamic within the team.
No,
I love the way they interact with each other.
But what I'm saying is
it's her choices when things are very dangerous. When things like don't go there to go talk to the person by yourself because you feeling.
But she's had to do that her entire life. That was part of how she survived. She left
Red River Orphanage because she aged out, and then through the it was Newman basically who put her on the scholarship so she could even attend Godolkin. So she's basically had to rely on the kindness of strangers her entire life because her parents are dead. She doesn't know where her sister is, and she's just in this orphanage. She doesn't know the stove is hot.
I want to thank
she ain't
you
been
both.
in the kitchen.
I want to thank you both for acknowledging that she's making bad decisions, and all you did was explain why. So I appreciate it. I understand why she's making bad decisions. I'm not arguing that.
No. And I get I absolutely get where you're coming from as far as like there are times where it's frustrating to watch her struggle through that because you know that one of the other characters would have been able to handle that situation better or differently.
No,
but I think that's part of where
that's not my perspective. My perspective is not I don't think one of the other characters could have handled it better. I'm not making that comparison. It's just I'm allowing her to be within her character within the show. Within the show, she just sometimes makes really dumb decisions that make me shrug my shoulders. Now, y'all can go ahead and Captain Save her all y'all want, but that's not going to change my perspective. I like her. I love her as a character. Like I like her character.
Well, her dumb decisions are what make her who she is.
Very good. It's still a dumb decision. Dumb decisions make a lot of things who people I know personally are. You know what I'm saying? I respect it.
So what were some of the other parts?
I think great fucking villain. Fucking despicable. Fucking menacing. Cypher is fucking awesome. Even the reveal into can I do it or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Even the reveal into him being Godolkin was handled absolutely perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That was a very good transition.
Even we alluded to that being, the general consensus that I never once believed that the man on the table was Dad. I didn't believe that, but I think the only thing that I might have missed, and I did have to go back and look at it, seeing Doug, with Doug being the one who delivered the baby, that was only 20 years ago.
So, they did kind of right. Well, that's possible.
So Doug has been being controlled for these last 20 years, and you can't really tell because they didn't do like a super age down process for the photo or anything. And I think that was something that was. Because I went back to check to see, like, did he look so much younger? His hair was black, but it still looked, he was still older. And so maybe there's a slowing in the aging process. And there's one episode where they do kind of like go through it and they do the timeline a little bit better. But ultimately, I'm with you. That was a great reveal. And to see that was ultimately a master plan, you know what I'm saying, to get himself healed, so that he could come back, and then once he's in a healthy body and he's repaired, the plan obviously was to try to take over Marie. If he can take over Marie, then he can use Marie to, and it's like I wonder.
Well, I think that's Sage's plan.
No, Sage.
I think that plan to take over Marie and all that other stuff, because I don't think he would have, in his state, he would have known about the existence of Marie. Right? He was burnt and fucked. I'm saying he was burnt and fucked up. Well, yeah, he fucking had to know, right? Because he was
controlling the doctor.
I was about to say no.
He knew
this is the episode when Stan comes in and he talks about it. When Cypher, as we know, Doug, he came out of nowhere and just brought all of Godolkin's research back because it was his research. Because he was the man in the hyperbaric chamber. Had to get it right. Because he was the man in the hyperbaric chamber, that's where his physical body is. But he took that shot at Gen V before the fire, like when he woke up and the fire was all around him. Okay, boom. He popped some Gen V real quick, and he got the good stuff. The stuff in the 60s, the stuff that Soldier Boy has, the stuff that Stormfront has. He got that good, that uncut, that pure. Because he had that Gen V, he actually had the stuff that does keep him from aging too quickly.
Right.
And that's why he had to first go through the one doctor, and then Doug explains that he jumped out of that doctor into him and then used him to kill that other doctor. So he's had all of this time that he's just been working. And he finally found another test subject who was able to complete the Odessa program, because he says at one point that if he could control one Odessa baby, he could control the other. There's only been 2 successful Odessa projects. One was Marie and the other was Homelander.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of crazy because I guess there's just a sense of like, if you have Gen V, you get a base set of stats. What's up?
I would say on RG is right to an extent, because even though that is Godolkin's plan, it was Sage's plan for Marie to find out about it.
Right.
The Odessa project and all of that was Sage.
Oh, absolutely.
Was behind feeding her that information just so that she would be more receptive and open, and you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, like he's smart, but he's like science smart, not genius. I can think 15 steps ahead, play 10 games of chess smart. He ain't that kind of smart.
But that's why they are so dangerous together.
Correct. Could have been.
Word.
Don't look like it's too much to worry about now. But no, I think ultimately he had his own selfish agenda, and in a weird sense, just like all these old soups, was going to do what he wanted to do regardless. And, to hell with a plan. This is what I want to do. This is what we're going to do. And he started going down that path. And I think him tricking Marie into curing him, that was the plan. Once he had this young, fresh, healthy body, he and Sage were going to ride off and do whatever. And they were going to probably go through the process of taking over the world. And they would have got away with it too, had it been for those damn meddling kids.
Right.
The issue, I'm wondering now, but the issue I had with the whole fire breaking out in the lab and stuff, and Godolkin, grabbing the serum and you taking the super serum. My issue then was, what did he expect to get from it? What he
and
you're
that's
in the fire.
But see, that's what I was saying.
Why are you running to get the serum? What is that supposed to accomplish? But now I'm wondering, had he thought so many steps ahead, like with the Odessa project? Was that to create someone who could basically heal anything? So was he thinking about that back then? Why would he be in a hurry to take the serum in that fire?
So here's my hypothesis, and this is what I think just from watching The Boys versus watching Gen V. Every time you see a fight scene, these people be getting thrown through walls, stuff that would break regular people. So just having Compound V in your system gives you at least a minimum.
Survive a fire.
Well, he clearly didn't necessarily survive. He has 3rd-degree burns all over his body, but it gives you endurance. It gives you, like a healing factor, if you will. Like you heal faster than normal. You're stronger than the average person. You know what I'm saying? So if he's just a regular human in that fire, he's dead. Like that's a wrap. That's it. But if he's a Gen V,
it's like, fuck it, I'm about to burn. Might as well see if this will save me.
It's like Victoria injecting her daughter.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like Victoria injecting her daughter. Like, I don't know what power you're going to get, but whatever it is that you get is going to protect you.
And
like
at a minimum,
what's her name? Bald girl, Ben Affleck. You know what I'm talking about. The ex CEO. Remember at the
I know you're talking about the one who was fucking with the dude.
She took it. Remember, like, fuck this. Y'all not finna fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, just if everybody had, and of course, this is using like video game and cartoon and comic logic and everything. If everybody had a stat sheet as a minimum, once you have Compound V in your system, all your stats go up to 15. Like a regular human, an Olympic athlete would be a 10. So you
whatever it is that the result of this injection might be, it's going to be better than just laying here and dying.
You're going to have
might help.
You're gonna have these minimum
Right.
and
Either
one
way,
I'm
random.
gonna die
right.
anyway. I'm gonna die anyway. So fuck it.
I feel like and I'm glad they didn't do anything with it, but even the one press secretary lady for the school, the B lady, you could probably throw her through a building and she'd be fine.
I hope they never show her again. I just can't.
It wasn't even
It's a
necessary to
lot.
show
I
her. If they
deal
weren't
with a
gonna do nothing with it.
gigantic schlong, and that B lady was like,
It was so slimy, and
Foolishness.
it didn't need to be. It didn't need to be what it was. Now, Jeff, you had thoughts on Sage. What do you think about Sister Sage? What is your conversation about Sister Sage?
Hold on, 1 second, because
Whoa.
You know what?
Oh, one fish,
It's
two fish,
official.
red
fact that he
fish,
had it ready.
blue fish.
So
Patty whack.
Wait. We go do one better. Jeff, I got you, man.
What theme music it is?
Nope, not the one I want. I want the one. Where is it? There it is. Here you go. Jeff,
There you go.
sorry, you buddy. You got it. What talk to us.
My brother.
So I was watching this show, and when they first introduced Sage to us and the boys, it seemed like she was gonna be one way, and now I don't like what they're doing with her. But I've been really looking at it as this show, and just in terms of like the two black women are the ones that's like pulling the strings behind everything, and I'm looking at both of their relationships to Godolkin. Like Marie, she tried to help Godolkin, but once she realized that he was the bad guy, she blew his head up. That's how you're supposed to treat people who try and destroy the world like that. Sage, she's hiding behind that intellect. Oh, I'm the smartest. I can work with him. I can work. It's like they not gonna work with you. Homelander's not gonna work with you. All right. Godolkin wasn't gonna work with you. These are all egomaniacal, like sociopaths who have like powers that extend beyond what we thought was naturally possible. They're not going to listen to your little plan about whatever, because their powers lead them to believe that they're better than you anyway, because they can impact things in the now. Everything that you're doing is about what's going to happen next week, next year, 10, 15 years from now. And they're like, I'm living in the now. I've been trying to figure out what character she is, and all I can think is Candace Owens, and all the just the right wing black. We can do I'm on this side because what have the other side been doing for us? It's like, bro, all your planning and your scheming does not do anything, because it's contingent upon other people buying into your plan, and you have no social skills. You don't know how to talk to people. You don't have to deal with people. And then like the weird like sex scene of this is where I figured out that Godolkin was the corpse dude and he was controlling Cypher. Because why are you looking this corpse in his eyes while you make love? Like, I'm sorry, I don't care how much applesauce I fed this dude. He got to go back in the chamber before we get to getting. So I found her inclusion to be very interesting. I've found her character development to be infuriating. Not lacking, because but I'm just curious. It makes me curious about like who's the black person in the writer's room that's writing this, because this is good stuff, and this is nuanced, and this is not like something that a group of 10 white hipsters who live in Echo Park can sit down and write. They don't have the perspective, they don't have the worldview, the experience to be able to like even allude to the black experience in this way. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that
okay.
One of these is gonna be the right one.
I will say that I agree to an extent that I feel a bit kind of not let down, but a little disappointed by her character. I don't know what I expected. I mean, it's not like when, and I'm not trying to, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, Teresa, but her, like her coming into the series wasn't, it's not like she walked in and she was like, I am the most into, like we saw that she's obviously not okay. But I don't know. I guess I expected more. Like, why are you involved in a plan that failed? You Sage. You should have seen that coming. You should have already, you know what I'm saying, had a circumvent to a circumvent because that's who your character is. You see? Like,
So, and I don't know if this is the only answer, or I won't even say answer I have to that, but what I saw, which was disappointing for me, with one exception, she always seems in control. She's always like knows exactly where she wants to be. And there are times where she needs to unwind from that, and she, you know, and that's how she releases to get away from
right.
that state. But any other time you see her, she's calculating, she's thinking, she's already got it figured out. Very little seems to happen without her knowing about it. Very little seems to happen without her
Right.
having predicted it. But when I saw her sitting there talking to Godolkin, who this woman?
Right.
She want to be all like, then we can go off and have our own little house in the woods and be what? And
That's
it
what I'm
was,
saying.
and
That's
it was
not
like, and so, and I was just kind of like, you took someone who either had the potential to be just a separate third party player.
right.
Like she wasn't necessarily going to be a hero. She wasn't necessarily going to be a villain. She was always going to be working on her own agenda. And
Right.
she
That's
would
what I thought.
align, and she would align with whoever would align to make her plans work out. Because I already
Right.
feel like she's got to work around. She's working on something to fix this Homelander thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not going the way she wanted to. Some unexpected variables came out, and she's like, okay, so we gotta rethink. And it even sounded like she was talking with Godolkin and had plans to maybe they were going to start working towards the Homelander problem. But all in the midst of that, she wanted to be Susie Homemaker and be all domesticated. And it just, that to me didn't fit with what I knew about the character. And then, of course, when she's standing there watching the culling taking place, Homelander's calling, and she's like, okay, I'm out. It's like, now you're out. And it's like,
One thing about her character
so I'm with
that
you.
I'm
Not as
like,
smart as I thought I gave you credit for.
well, she's a survivor,
it.
and the thing is she has to survive solely based off of her wits. She's not going to outpunch anybody. She's not going to outfight anybody. She's not going to outrun anybody. She's not beating anybody on a physical basis. So her rise and her rise has got to be solely based on how well she can manipulate others.
Right.
She's very good at doing that. And she's very good at assessing risk and assessing threats. She knows who's the people that she has to account for. She knows the people that can destroy her in an instant. And it seems like those are the people that she kowtows to, or she goes through periods of, let me be super nice, let me feed your ego, to when I fed your ego and then it doesn't work, then now you're going to get the more assertive me because now I have, see, I told you should have did it my way. I have that, in my pocket.
Okay.
So but at the same time, she's a villain.
Do
right?
you feel
I'm
it
not
was an
rooting
act?
for Sister Sage. I'm not rooting for Sister Sage. I feel like everything she's doing is an act. She's a manipulator. That is her special power. Her special power allows her the ability to think, she can, cure things. But the reality of the situation is that the universe she's in has her going up against people like Homelander and all these soups that are just diabolical and abusing their power and misusing their power, that this is how she has to deal with things on that situation. She's a superpowered person. She wants to rise amongst the ranks. She has all these plans and machinations going on in her head, because that's her superpower. Probably just constant thinking. That's why she talks so manically and, so fast, because her brain is probably, she's got to get this shit off. So if this is it, but it's making her into somewhat of a villain. So when the situations that went wrong for her in Gen V, I feel like her doing the whole, oh blah blah blah, and I thought we were gonna do this. I don't feel like that shit's for her. I feel like that's some shit that she originally just thought that somebody like him would want to hear to keep him docile. I don't think she does anything based off of what she wants, because I think ultimately what she wants is to eliminate or assimilate whoever is stronger than her.
So he would have been a man in the 60s, and he would have expected a Susie Homemaker type, and she was okay.
You haven't touched anybody for years.
I give you that.
You know what I'm saying? Don't you just want to chill and relax? So that's what I attributed it to.
You know what? So, thank you. That was the explanation I needed, because that shit did not make sense to me, and it seemed really out of place. That is a valid, plausible.
That ain't what I saw.
I mean, I know exactly how it looked.
All I see is her curling up next to the most powerful white man in the room whenever she get a chance. Under the guise of my larger plan. Okay, what is the larger plan? Like, until I know what the larger plan is, I don't trust that larger plan to be beneficial for anybody except Sage. Even if it's destroying Homelander. But it's like, I don't even know why she wanted to destroy Homelander. And the only reason she was with Godolkin is because he had the ability either to do it himself or create the next person who would be able to. So, like, but I also think that she got enamored with, like, the idea of somebody who, because he probably was getting inside her head too, doing all kind of freaky stuff up in there. So, because he said he could never control more than two people at one time. So, if it's, what's his name, Sydney or Cypher, the body of Cypher, and she in there, like, who knows what was going on? Like, that character to me, as a representative, like, we all black, so we always gonna look at how people are represented in certain things. I have found like, Marie is a very, very interesting character. I don't think like they have shied away from the aspect that she's black, and that's part of what she's got going on too. I think it was probably more prominent in season 1, but like, the Sister Sage thing, it's kind of like, bro, so is this what we're saying? Well, what are we saying about this? Like, is this the college educated black woman ends up what? Outside of the hero stuff, outside of the superhero stuff, because you're showing me this aspect of her life. You showing her, in precarious situations, all under the like the charm of Godolkin's psyche or whatever it is that she can feel. You showing me her like just slithering through the 7 and like trying to help Homelander achieve whatever it is Homelander's trying to achieve, and it's just like, this is weird. It's weird for that to be a black woman character for me, and not to have other black women characters to kind of counteract that as like a foil to that. And I think it stood out more because Marie was in Gen V. It kind of made me rethink how I saw Sage in The Boys, because I was like, she feels very different in Gen V. But I'm like, actually, no, she's the same. I just saw her differently because contextually, when she walked into the 7 as like the first black woman in the 7, my brain framed that completely differently than seeing her like in the bed with Godolkin after knowing he's gonna cull the herd and do all this other stuff like that. So yeah,
that's valid.
It's
all valid. I mean, at the end of the day, we really don't know, because we don't know what is going to happen in The Boys. We don't know if in The Boys they're going to be like, oh yeah, this whole time Sage was this, because she was going to maneuver when she knew Godolkin was doing this and she was going to kill him and maneuver Marie into a position to where she can kill Homelander, and that's been my master plan. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And And so I will say she's a fascinating character. The actress is doing a very, very good job of expressing like the multifacets of Sage. And I appreciate that because like
I'm wondering.
here we are having this conversation.
She's well thought out and well acted for a flawed character. Like she's
right.
and for the primary character, like she's
The only thing that I wonder,
that she's not just one dimensional, and that we don't know
absolutely
what her,
not.
Motivations are. And
correct.
I saw there's one other thing that comes to mind, and y'all gonna have to kind of read between the lines on this pickup because I don't want to ruin nothing for Therese on this.
You spoil it because I'm only watching the boys begrudgingly.
I wonder
so it doesn't matter.
When we see Sister Sage in Gen V, maybe she is a little different. She got shot in the head.
She did get shot in the head.
Maybe that moment we saw was her not in control of that, not having those. Maybe she just like has that little moment she slips where she's normally like locked in. Maybe she not the smartest.
Yeah, but her brain regenerates though. So, and she said that she's like this ain't the first time when she got shot. She was like, in the meantime, let's enjoy the fact that I'm, you know what I mean? Like
true. But it's one thing when she does it because it's her intelligence doing it the way she's doing it.
Even when she got shot, it was like her brain regenerates. Like
I get that it regenerating you can have surgery and have like a very tiny scar and a little incision, or you get cut with a random ass knife and now you got a major scar. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that like the damage that's done when she lobotomizes herself, it's her intelligence telling her how to do it. She knows how to handle that. When she randomly gets shot in the head, yes, it'll regenerate, but does it regenerate the same way? Because it's not a controlled situation now. And then again,
I don't know.
Just spitballing, throwing it out there, and just wondering if perhaps maybe because I'm literally just putting together what we're talking about, thinking what Jeff said is like, when he saw her here, he saw her one way, but when he saw her here, she seemed different. Technically, no, she's the same, but I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, yeah, she did actually seem a little different. What if we get to season 5 and she's not the smartest person in the world no more? Just throwing that out there for early thought. I
know, but I still think she would be smart enough to take herself out of that situation if she
and maybe that's why she was trying to like settle down with Godolkin and move off to
I think she was very good at calculating who is more powerful than her, who are the allies that she needs to have. She knows who to antagonize and who not to antagonize. She's been very good at that. And yeah, I'm sorry. I just when you can manipulate that well, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the Batman thing. You know what I'm saying? When you too much, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna have to assume you know how to get out of most of these situations on top. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just calculating all these different possibilities and different ways that it can go, and then putting yourself in the best position depending on however many different outcomes you test. So
that's the only reason
gonna come up until somebody goes, I'm sick of you, smash, and then their head's folded. But
again, it's the only reason I think it's something as we look into the next season. It's
I just know we better find out what this damn plan is, because she's starting to sound like a deadbeat dad. Like, I'm gonna come get you. I'm gonna come bite. He ain't coming.
I just got to take care of a little business back in town first, but I'll be back. I'll be back.
Ain't no plan.
I just want to give a shout out to the boys for putting Giancarlo Esposito back into a kitchen. Yeah, I enjoy it. I just love and adore him, and he's just always a delight whenever he shows up in anything. So I'm glad they brought him back, because
they do a good job of that. Like they have the people from the boys make enough of an appearance to for happy fan service, right? Yeah, but not enough to begin to overwhelm and become a major plot point of the show. We still don't require them for the rest of the show to move on. So it does a very good job of that. Like we got our Giancarlo, and then it was where'd he go?
We got some exposition. We got, a little direction. We got to understand that, like, okay, so we knew that Victoria had got him out, but we didn't know what happened to him. He's living in a fabulous bunker I would absolutely live in.
Right.
But I just mean, so he's here. He's squirreled away. He's squirreled away in a bunker to where Homelander can't find him. But at the same time, Homelander ain't gonna do nothing to him. Homelander is weak, understand. Like Stan is probably one of the only people where Homelander, but that was before as well.
That's the problem.
That was before Homelander's little therapy session where he confronted his past and left that part of his humanity behind. So
correct.
We don't know what the new Homelander is, going to do besides be crazy.
There was definitely that concern with how it affected Vought, and as a result, how it affected him. And now that he realizes he is Vought, like he is Vought.
Yeah.
That's where he realized he has that control. And that's why Stan was like, okay, time to go. Because at this point he didn't have that control that he would have had before. And if Homelander's like worked through some of his demons, then it's only going to make him more of a threat.
Yeah, because that literally was the human weak part of him, the frightened, the scared, the little boy part of him that lived in that bunker. He left that behind. Like that was symbolic when he was coming up in that elevator and he was covered in blood and he had that man. And listen, Anthony and that damn face.
Yeah,
that man can do so much with a still face and just terrifying.
Wait, he just be moving his mouth.
Facts, and it's scary. Like I don't know. Like
he gonna have to pick some roles after this to make sure he ain't Homeland for real. You gotta go do some rom-coms, my boy.
I just mean I'm scared for Marie because you know what I'm saying? She's still a little girl and like they all gonna have to come for him and Huey and all of them. Like there's no taking him down. They all gonna have to come and even might have to get Soldier Boy up in this hole.
I think you set it up. I just want to make sure we knocked it out.
I
do like the symbolism that it seems that the solution to Homelander is Marie. That that was not
strong enough.
That was not lost on me. And given that she's the only other successful Odessa, now that we have our Gen V kids about to be under the tutelage of some real soups who have done some real stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
We may see like some real growth in their abilities because we'll get to see like new and different ways for them to use their techniques. And, even I mean, say what you want to, A-Train is still he's still like the second fastest man on the planet.
So like when I tell you I was so not there for his redemption arc, I still when he showed up, I was like, oh wait, he's on our side.
But it honestly, I feel like that's kind of the point for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not supposed to get the warm fuzzies.
I was like, oh, Starlight. Oh, it's A-Train. I guess,
you gotta have he has to just be on this path. So when he does the noble sacrifice, you at least be like, well, good for him. I'm glad that's how you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's all. I mean,
I'm saying he can't be redeemed. I don't think. Of all the characters, I don't think he's the one that's done the irredeemable thing. You know what I'm saying? Like.
No, I mean, but he like
Deep was having sex with an octopus. Like,
I mean, he did run through Homeboy's girl.
That's in line. In line for the Deep though. That's who the Deep is.
That's in line for the Seven. Like that's just kind of. It wasn't like maliciously done. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like.
Right. I wasn't trying to kill your girl. Like I was on my way.
I'm like, I just like in the grand scheme of
he
the
was
boys.
under fear of Homelander at that time. So technically, we're not gonna give him a pass, but I understand why he was acting the way he was acting.
True.
Once he started doing the whole double
That was a
agent
stray.
thing,
He caught a
he
stray.
was only doing that to save his own skin. After that, some of the choices he started making started being for the benefit of others. And so, yes, they are giving him this small little redemption path.
Shame about his brother.
I was about to say, now that was the turning point for him. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what it took for him to realize, like, this shit is fucked up and I can't be a part of this. And but his own brother didn't want nothing to do with him before that. You see what I'm saying? Was like, what you telling your nephews? Why don't you tell your nephews what really happened? Da, da, da. Like, you're a fake hero, man. You a buster. Like, he was,
like I said, when he got his superhero moment last season, I was like, oh, that was very sweet. Like the kids, to see that the kids saw you as a hero in that moment. And that is what a hero feels like. Good for you, A-Train.
right.
Be better. That's all I can ask. You know what I'm saying? Be best. Be best.
You see that feeling? Keep that going.
Because a part of me is still like, y'all got him all up in y'all's business. I don't know that I would.
I mean, like, who we gonna tell?
You don't need to be knowing everybody's locations in this.
Very much so.
Like,
very much so. But
can I say one more thing I really, really liked about the show? I think, like, with the way that season 1 left off, it seemed very clear, like, oh, season 2, they're going to be either in the facility or on the run. And I think the choice to bring them back to Godolkin created so much more interesting tension, interesting storylines. It put them in the position where they, it created the understanding that, like, they're part of this larger machine that they can't really escape from. And Vought has the power to, like, suck you right back in, depending on when and how they feel like dealing with you. And I don't know, I just want to commend the writers on that, because it was very clear, like, oh yeah, this is just about to be runaways. It's just about to be, the same old tired trope, kids on the run, kids trying to escape that we've seen before, dystopia. And really, it was like, no, you guys got to figure out how to navigate life. You got to figure out how to navigate these tricky situations. And it's not even
with these punches. And
even being, like, locked up in a facility. Yeah, even being locked up in a facility kind of puts you in a position where it's like, well, you can't really make bad choices in here, because anything you do, you're trying to get your freedom, so people understand that. And when you back in school, you face with situations like when what's their name, he got up there and Jordan just exposed everything. And it's like, all right, I don't know if that's the best way to do that, but you did it. And Marie, like, constantly leaving and her friends having to chase her down. Even the scene where, like, Jordan and Marie broke up, like, phenomenal acting from Jazz Sinclair there, for real, because every emotion in the world went through her face without her even saying a word. But I think just, like, the school kind of being that central location still, even though at the end of the last season it felt like, okay, we're probably done with God U and we're on to, like, Gen V being, like, some new science. I just found that to be fascinating, and I think a really, really good choice that led to a lot of the best parts of the season was all because it was still located on the campus, and that was such a major player in the season.
Yeah, I mean, had they not been at the campus, we wouldn't have learned about, like, we wouldn't have had Greg, who was, he's a cool little interesting character to just hop in, something for Sam to be jealous about. He needs to feel something. Seeing Sam get a little bit of growth and mature, and finding out that he was just like that. Like, you didn't, it wasn't from, like, you was like that before all of that. And the Gen V was supposed to help, and all it did was enhance what was already there. But, like, with seeing some of the other students on campus, Rufus, Black Hole Kid, the girl with the chameleon powers, the girl with the Rapunzel powers. Like, we wouldn't have gotten some of those other interesting characters had they not been on campus. We wouldn't have gotten those additions to the story, as Jeff was saying, had they been on the run, because it would have just been like hide out, break into a place, steal some stuff, get caught, hide again, run,
It would have been
fight.
episode 1. It would have just been episode 1 over and over and
over and over
over
and over.
Mm.
It would have been who's going to catch us this week, and that would have gotten very boring very quickly.
Unless they just did it like Running Man, Hunger Games style, put the shit on TV.
Who's gonna kill these soups?
I mean, you put a bounty and have it out there for the soups, and then we get to see them like train and learn in the field, you know, that sort of thing. But I don't think it would have navigated the way it needed to incorporate. Because even though it felt like there were a lot of big cameos in season 2, I mean, obviously season 1 had the biggest cameo. They had Homelander there. Season 2 had enough consistent cameos to really make it feel like this is one world and everything is connected. And what happens here affects this over there. Because when we got to those first couple episodes when Marie was like hiding out and, you know, she got into a fight and the Starlighters were over there, it was like, oh, you try to remind us that this is the same world because, oh, look, they're Starlighters. Oh, you know, it felt very, very forced. And then as the season continued and you started seeing faces and seeing people, seeing things that were happening, explained and shown, then it kind of made the world feel very lived in and very connected. And I think that was only possible with them being on campus. So, yeah, definitely good call on that one. Anybody else? Final thoughts? Anything else? I'm not going to try to make any predictions because we got to tie this in to season 5, and I don't know what the hell. I just got to sit and watch.
Yeah. I just have a small explanation on the vapid and my alias. So, yeah, because it ain't all hugs and kisses about the show. My issue is your Game of Thrones your ass with that last episode. That last episode was weak. Oh my God. This is what happens when you do 8 episodes. You don't introduce a villain like Godolkin, and then he's able to die the next episode. Like, that was a waste. That was an absolute waste to me. I remember that was my issue with Jessica Jones, where you don't have a villain who is that powerful and has those type of abilities, and you don't stretch them out over a few seasons because they are diabolical and they're able to mastermind some very some very wicked situations that, you know, will play off very entertaining in your show. It was one of the things that I liked about the John Lithgow's character in Dexter, and how to, you know, you don't just kill, you don't introduce someone like that and kill them off immediately. It's just Cypher to Godolkin, you know, / Godolkin is that type of villain. And I feel like you wasted him way too quick. I feel like after the reveal, he should have got some time to rock. We should have got some time to see the scientist and to see what really makes him a threat and why was this. They really could have stretched this out rather than go ahead and kill him and attempt to let you know, hey, let's hurry up and get Marie rolling here because we got to have a Homelander Marie showdown. Like, I just, you know. So that's what did it. It brought it down.
I agree that was a strange choice to have him killed so quickly. And, you know, because, you know, such a major player, you would think a major player anyway, you know, because the school is named after him. But he started the whole thing. And then for him to be gone so abruptly, I agree that was an odd choice. But
they built him up all season.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
all both seasons really. And then, you know, for him to get his head blown up sitting there like that. I'd like to throw in too, I know we have mentioned in the past the caliber of acting in Gen V, and just to piggyback off of that, Sam mentioned the character Sam, and I think he has just done a phenomenal job, and every time he is on screen, the first thing I think is Bill Skarsgård, and that just kind of emphasizes what a great job he does, what a good actor he is, because Bill Skarsgård is such a good actor, and he reminds me so much of him.
Yeah, this has some of the. I would be interested to see what this cast of characters goes on to do in other stuff. I would be curious if I would find them as appealing there. Some of them have a few other things, and I've kind of looked at them like, I'll wait. I'll see what they do next. Like what got you here is good enough. I'll wait and see what you do after this, because now I have a basis for what I'm expecting. But yeah, I think it's a great cast, and I think having Polarity kind of shine for that time he did, that was a way for them to continue all season to say Andre's name and keep Chance in people's minds the entire season. And the conversation he had with Doug, where he was kind of talking about his son, again, just a moment where it was a nice way to pay tribute to him throughout the entire season. And I didn't do a name count, but I feel like they said his name at least once per episode.
Yeah.
And
many times.
And that was, it really felt like you could tell they truly wanted him there for the entire season. And I think they did a really good job of keeping him a part of the season.
That adds to the realism of the show too. That adds to the realism of the show, because you know how most shows, you have a main character from the previous season die, and then the next season it's almost like nobody talks about it. You know what I'm saying? And in reality, you don't do that. This dude just died like 2 fucking weeks ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just died, and it hurts, and we haven't had a chance to grieve because we're fucking getting chased down and somebody's constantly threatening to kill us. So I think a lot of that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? A parent grieving like that, why would he stop? So yeah, they did a really good job. I like how they did that. That is a good thing to point out.
Nice little in remembrance of Chance. Well, I think it's safe to say that all in all, everybody seems to have enjoyed Gen V, and I'm definitely looking forward to see how these characters get incorporated into season 5 of The Boys, the final season. I do think we are leading to a showdown, and I can't wait to see how that's going to play out.
I hope Marie blow Homelander head up just as fast as she blew up Godolkin.
Me too.
So I was gonna respond to that for RG, but I'm gonna let him be upset about it. He didn't say it was bad. He just said he didn't like it. I'll leave it at that. Because I can't. That's how you didn't like it. That's what it was. But we are Grown A Geeks, of course. So I have the QR code now. Somehow we got swapped. But right here, you can click that QR code there right above me, and that'll let you find Grown A Geeks on all the social media platforms. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe. Join us, and we will be back at some point later talking about something else. For Jeffrey, Brandy, RG, Teresa, I'm Elder Geek Sam, and we are out of here. Peace.